we will call up Derek Sloan, the leader of the Ontario Party.
How is everybody doing today? It's an amazing day. I have two of my children with me today. You'll remember that last year my wife and my other young daughter were here, but unfortunately they're unable to make it today. You also know that my wife and I homeschool our children because we believe that parents should have the authority and the autonomy to decide what their children are taught in school. The Ontario Party is a party that is seeking to govern this province. We have many exciting pro-life policies that you can check out on our website, ontarioparty.ca, which includes getting rid of bubble zones in this province, conscience protection rights for health workers, including in the referral process, funding for crisis pregnancy centers, making adoption easier, and lastly, making sure that parents have parents have the permission, I've been out in the sun for 45 minutes, that parents have the choice about what kind of medical procedures their children undergo. I watched the Conservative leadership debate last night, and I was disgusted that most candidates were tripping over themselves to brag about how pro-abortion they are. That's very, very unfortunate. Of course, there was one candidate who stood strongly for pro-life values, and Leslyn Lewis, and I applaud her for that. It's time that we say in this country that to be a conservative, you should be pro-life. We may disagree on how to get there. We may disagree on what policies should be used. We may disagree on whether the answer lies in politics or outside of politics in terms of addressing this culture of death. But the idea that someone could be entirely neutral on the issue, could be entirely hands-off when it comes to unrestricted abortion in this country, that is a shame. And frankly, it comes from cowardice. I am confident that these people in private would lament the fact that there's so many abortions. They would say, you know what? It would be better to have fewer rather than more. And yet, they're afraid to say that publicly because of the mainstream media, the far left crew, the cancel culture that impacts and affects so many of us. But I'm saying we need to see more courage in politics. We need to have more people who are willing to be conservative without apology in this country and in this province. It's not wrong to say that our line in the sand for our political support and for conservatism or any other party needs to be the life issue. It is unconscionable that so many politicians are neutral on this issue. For myself, I will always stand strong on this issue because I know that I'm not only accountable to you here today and also accountable to the future generations of the preborn, but also accountable to God, the great I Am who stands and watches us all here today. And I, like all of you here, hope to hear from God at the end of this life, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord." Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless Canada.
Powerful words from a powerful pro-lifer. Thank you, Derek Sloan. Now, before we introduce the next pro-life leaders of a political party in Ontario that will have many, many pro-life candidates running in the June 2nd election, I want to point out that we have developed a new voters guide website. Campaign Life Coalition has created it. It's called www.voteprolifeontario.ca. Go there, put in your postal code and see if we have a pro-life candidate in your own riding, and then volunteer for them, vote for them. Get 10 friends, family members, church members, your neighbors to vote for them. Get a lawn sign. Do all of those wonderful things that a pro-life candidate needs to get elected. And so the next leaders we'll have up here, it's a duo. It's Jim and Belinda Carahalios. They are strong pro-lifers, well known for a long time to Campaign Life Coalition. Jim was actually ran for the leadership of the Conservative Party, and for various reasons, probably including the fact that he was a pro-lifer, they kicked him out too. But, and Belinda Carahalios is the pro-life member of provincial parliament for the wonderful riding of Cambridge, Ontario, and they founded a party called the New Blue Party of Ontario, so I welcome them up here. But first, George will speak in French.